Hi everyone, Justin Thind here. So I was watching the first half of the Maryland-Michigan State game. Wanted to highlight a few plays, some that were impact plays, scoring plays, others that were a little more arbitrary. But diving in right here, this was Maryland's first drive of the game. It was their only sustained scoring drive of the whole first half. The second score, the touchdown to make it 14-7, that was off of a Childs interception that we'll talk about in a second. But that was just a two-play, 17-yard drive. So again, third down stats weren't great, but scoring is what matters. Michigan State defense mostly did a good job, especially against such a strong skill position group of Maryland with Ty Felton, Caden Prather, Roman Hemby, and a competent quarterback in Billy Edwards. So right here, Michigan State is in man coverage here. Cover two help up top, though. So I don't have the exact next-gen stats. That doesn't exist for college football, just the NFL. So I don't know the exact statistical breakdown of man versus zone. But my untrained eye would kind of just say that they played a lot more man in the first drive than they did the rest of the game in terms of like just ratio splits. So with that, the way that I perceive that is Joe Rossi was probably saying, let's see if we can cover these guys in man. If we can, that opens up a lot of creativity, especially some third down blitz looks. If not, then we'll scrap it, kind of relatively scrap it, I guess, after that. So they're in man here, but again, this is a conservative kind of an option if you're going to man because you have safety help up top. The thing is even in cover two, there are spots where you don't have help if you're with these corners. So Chuck Brantley's on the receiver right there. That's going to be a hitch route. This is called a smash fade concept. So Ty Felton is on Chance Rucker, or I should say Chance Rucker is on Ty Felton, and Ty Felton's one of the best receivers in the country. There's two places that Chance can't get beat, where he doesn't have help. Deep, it's in the back pylon corner of the end zone, further that way. Inside, it's the in-breaking route, the slant route, something like that. You're not going to have, I guess, an easy time of keeping Ty Felton from breaking in on you and getting open. He's just too good at a clean release at the line. So I'm guessing that's what Chance was thinking here. And unfortunately, as a result, that smash fade, it was so easy for Ty to get back there. You're not going to be able to help if you're Nakai Martinez. You're a deep safety help. They put it in the one spot where it's the deepest, the most further away from where you are. So that's just unfortunately what happened there. Not really picking on Chance, again, as hard of a receiver matchup as you're going to get, and that was the perfect route against the perfect defense. So nobody is to blame. I think it was as good of a call by Rossi if you're going to try man, because it's, again, very conservative and you still have help up top. Okay, so the next play I wanted to highlight, nothing crazy here. It's a basic levels concept out to the opposite hash. The only thing is, this is something you're going to see a lot from Michigan State, and I think there deserves to be some credit. Nothing crazy, but if you have a quarterback that can go ahead and make this opposite hash throw from where he is there to Nick Marsh here without any DB breaking in on it, you have a weapon that you can use on a lot of short to go, intermediate to go kind of downs. The only thing is you have to make the correct read, because what levels means is you have a short and a deep, and it's layered. So you're going to have to make the correct read. Now here you might say, all right, it's a very easy read. One corner is giving way too much separation, whereas the hybrid nickel / linebacker that's on the slot receiver is right there. But again, you could argue that right here, Childs is thinking, oh, this slot receiver has a beat. Let me just take the shorter throw. But if this linebacker decides, instead of trying to stay step for step with the receiver, if he's just let me try to cut the angle down, Childs throws that thing's going for 6 the other way. So he makes the right read, throws it to Marsh, requires much more arm strength, but it's on a rope, and these two DBs have no shot. So just a great weapon to have in your back pocket, and not every quarterback is doing this. So good job there. You'll see this a lot. You'll even see this later in the game. Okay, so this is the interception that Childs threw that Maryland scored 2 plays and 17 yards later. You're going to hear this week podcasters, national people saying Childs had a great game. His ceiling is so high. He just needs to fine-tune some decision-making. And that may be true. It is true in some regards. But this play is not one of those examples. And Jonathan Smith was quick to point this out in the game. In the in-between quarters silent interview, when they asked him about it, he said it was, I guess, a bad throw. Paraphrasing. But he basically defended the decision to make that throw and said it wasn't a decision-making issue, it was just a throw issue. And that's what I'm going to explain here. So when I watched it myself in real time, like not replay or anything, just like as the play happened, I was thinking this ball needs to go to Juwan Glover on the drag route right in the middle of the field. But then just quickly watching it right over, I knew that was a horrible kind of initial instinct on my part. This play is what is known as a dagger concept. Now, for those that play Madden, you'll know what dagger is, but more so than that, this play is drawn up exactly the way it's drawn up in Madden. You're going to see a switch release at the bottom of the screen where they're hoping to have these corners run into each other, or at least cause some sort of delay. And the drag route is going to be probably the second read here, maybe the third, but the second. You're going to see the clear out in the middle of the screen with the receiver that's right there. So if this were man cover 2, which it looks like this is, the top safety is out of focus, but essentially this receiver right there in the slot is designed to not only take his man out of the middle of the field, but also any potential safety that's back there. As a result, all the pressure is on the corner right there that's hidden by the Big Ten logo to not allow Nick Marsh to break in on him. Well, the thing is, with Michigan State setting up outbreaking routes most of the game, you can see that this corner is already worried about preventing this ball from going to the sideline. He's shading his coverage to the sideline. Childs knows at this point that it's cover 2. Childs knows at this point that Marsh is going to beat this guy with his first 2 steps on the in-breaking route. There is no reason for him to even look down at the drag route, which, again, we don't know if he actually makes the first down. But going back to this is absolutely going to be open with what he's seeing here. You run this tape a little bit. What do you see on the first step? Right there on the far right. That is as open as you will get on a downfield throw in the Big Ten, in the Power 5. Childs will be making this play a lot later this year. That is open. That is the correct decision to make that throw. The only issue is the throw is above and behind there. So again, just not defending the interception, not saying that there's nothing wrong with this play. I'm just saying the fault is in the throw. The fault is not in the decision. Okay, so this was probably my favorite trio of plays that happened in quick succession on Saturday. The first play, this is quarterback power, QB power. Basically, the reason that this play is so effective, despite being fairly simple, is the concept of basic math. Michigan State has 6 blockers. Maryland has 7 in the box. How do you make it 7 on 7? You add your running back to the blocking count. So you take away any sort of read option, nothing that occupies the running back. No play action, no read option. So the second the ball is snapped, he starts blocking. You have 7 on 7, simply beat your man, don't whiff. That's a first down every time, basic math. So you see K'Ron Lynch-Adams right there, set the blocker at the bottom of the screen, and Childs after that, it's smooth sailing right to the first down marker. They don't even touch him until he gets past the yellow line. So very easy play, very basic concept, but very effective if your quarterback has vision and athleticism. So now, next play, this actually deserves credit from a schematic standpoint, and this is how you as a coaching staff can give yourself an advantage if you may not have the best talent like run blocking wise, where you as the run game coordinator, if you're Coach M or OC Brian Lindgren, can do things like this. This is Nick Marsh at the bottom of the screen. Nick Marsh, when this play gets rolling, is going to make the key block in the middle of the field to spring KLA into the open field and get the first out. So again, watch Marsh from the bottom of the screen. He's going to make that block that has this run going forward. So again, he's going to make that block, and then without that, who knows if he even gets a first down. And then after that, it's Lynch-Adams that makes the cut with the vision. It's Luke Newman that's finishing the play downfield with athleticism. So that's how you get the additional 12 yards. But this first down is probably not happening if not for Nick Marsh coming in by design. So that's a good job by the coaches, and that's how you develop an effective run game without just relying on your offensive line to maul people. Okay, so the third play here, nothing crazy schematically, just wanted to highlight kind of Aiden Childs at work. So relatively easily, this pass rusher wins his rep. And Aiden Childs, any quarterback at this level, worth anything, you know their peripheral vision shows them that that guy is coming at you free. Childs does not panic, despite, again, like I'll guarantee you that he knows that he's coming here. He's not going to even need to step up when he makes his throw. It's shades of Michael Vick, like a flick of the wrist gracefully, like not even needing to step into a throw, just a flick of the wrist. This ball ends up perfectly downfield. And Teron Glover obviously did a good job running the route because of the separation he had there. The ball placement's not really the point, but the fact that Childs is not running the second that he sees that pass rusher free, keeps his eyes downfield, just simply plants his back foot and just flicks the wrist. It gets a lot on it. That's a rope. So just wanted to highlight that. Like that's not a throw that everyone's making, and that's not a process that not everyone's having it in the pocket itself. Okay, so this is the final batch of plays I wanted to highlight. The first play, so this is Nick Marsh at work as an improviser and someone that's not a run first guy, someone that uses his feet to create opportunities. So 3rd and 10, this is a money down. This is the drive extender that led to Michigan State kicking a field goal going into halftime. So huge play. So Maryland's going to have 2 guys in the A gap, Mike Zimmer style. They're going to drop both of the linebackers. They're going to blitz a nickel, somewhat creative look. Doesn't really bother Michigan State. Anyway, Childs doesn't see any option to throw the ball here, and especially because the guy he wants to throw to is Jack Velling there, but that DB's right in the middle, the guy at the 28-yard line. So what Childs does instead is he starts to take off a bit. But no runner, no matter how confident they are going to assume they're just going to break this guy's ankles that has him squared up, and they're going to make that for a 10-yard gain. But what he's doing is getting him off his spot. So the second he starts pursuing Childs flicks the wrist, drops her right over him with the perfect arc, right in the perfect spot. Velling, good job by him not coming short of the sticks throughout this process. Great catch, goes down. So again, that's Aidan Childs as an improviser that's still a pass-first guy, so you don't have to worry about him being athletic and just running all the time, leaving clean pockets and stuff like you have to with some quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts was even doing that his rookie year. So this is stuff that is very impressive to see. Next play, nothing crazy. Just wanted to leave this in here since it was the next play. But yeah, like great throw, leading his guy out, good velocity. But this is the throw, the out route with velocity that I wanted to highlight. Childs is essentially, most likely sees it. I don't want to say he definitely sees it, but there's a free rusher there, so a good amount of toughness involved if he sees him. But ripping this throw, opposite field, 10 yards downfield, many yards across field, right on the perfect spot with that DB right in Marsh's hip pocket, and another first down. Oppo hash, missile throw. Not many quarterbacks in this conference are making this. Not many quarterbacks in college are making this. So a lot of attention on the deep balls and the game winners. But like these are the throws that are going to be consistently putting Michigan State in winning positions, especially on 3rd and long. So good stuff here. Just wanted to highlight this.